If your kids are anything like mine, they are eating around the clock and asking for all the things that I don't want to give them. Well, stay tuned because I've got 3 tips that are going to change the game for you and your family. They are simple, but they work. Stay tuned. Okay, so today's live is all about how I have been successful in getting my kids to snack less often during the day and also enjoy healthier snacks when they are snacking. And I did have many of you adults out there, maybe some of you whose kids are grown or are grandmas now that are wanting this for yourself. You're having the same issue, and I made it this way, ladies. Like everything that I'm saying that can apply to our children also applies to us, especially tip number 3. So stick around till the end because that's when it really comes into play, and us as adults can really make a difference both in our own lives as well as our children. So let's just dive in. First of all, this is all uncharted territory for all of us, right? Our kids are now at home with us all day, every day. And a lot of the stuff that I'm going to share with you, a lot of these tips, it's going to be common sense. I know that you've probably all heard it before. Here's the difference. A lot of times we hear this stuff or we read this stuff and we're passive listeners. I am going to challenge you, ladies, even if what I say to you today seems so simple and you just think it won't work for you, I challenge you to just apply it to your week next week and see if you don't see a difference. Because I'm almost going to guarantee that if you can implement these 3 tips that I'm going to share with you today, again, even though they are so simple, it will make a difference in how your kids are eating, how often they're eating, and also how you're eating. So the first tip is kids need structure. And it's not just kids. I myself find that I thrive when I am organized and I have structure. So they were going to school for 6-7 hours a day, right? They weren't allowed to get up and go grab a snack in the middle of math, when they were thirsty or hungry. No, they had a structure. They had a time when they had a snack. They had a time when they had lunch. They had a time for recess. Okay, I am going to encourage you to do the same. Even go as far, if your kids are young enough, have an open and closed hours in your kitchen. So that might look like breakfast, or the kitchen will be open, let's say during breakfast hours of 7 and 8:30 in the morning, okay? During that time, breakfast will be served. If you're not full, find something to fill you up. And then the kitchen is closed from 8:30 until 10:30, till snack time. Create whatever hours work for you, but this will not only help your kids start to understand that, hey, if I'm hungry, I've got to eat during this time, because mom's not going to get me anything for that other time. And if they're old enough, you just have to lay down the law. The kitchen is closed. You fill up at this time. We're going to close down the kitchen. It'll be open for snack. Then it's going to close again. It'll be open for lunch, and so on and so forth. That's helpful for a lot of people. Remember this though, it's not about restriction, okay? It's not about necessarily telling your kids exactly what they can eat during this time, although I'll help you in just a minute kind of gear them towards healthier snacks, because restriction equals deprivation, and deprivation can really set our kids up for some unhealthy eating habits later down the line. The point is that during these times of breakfast, snacks, lunch, dinner, whatever, we want to make sure that we're giving them a lot of healthy options that's going to fill them up, which brings me to tip number 2. So 1 is a schedule. Set a schedule. Let your kids know when they're allowed to eat, when the kitchen is open, and when it's not. The 2 is to fill them up. The problem with most of the food that our kids want to snack on is that it's highly processed. What does that mean? It just means that there is a lot of empty carbs. Hi, Michelle. And it's not filling them up. So they are hungry a lot faster. What am I talking about? I'm talking about chips, I'm talking about cookies, I'm talking about sodas, I'm talking about fruit juices, cereal, all these things that our kids love to snack on. It's not filling. So what kind of snacks can we give them that is going to be a little bit higher? Think about higher in healthy fats, higher in protein, higher in fiber. If you need help and ideas in this, first of all, you need to head over to my website, plantsnotperfection.com/free resources. And I've got 7 insanely easy snacks that your kids will love. A lot of them are super filling in all those 3 things I just mentioned: fiber, protein, fat. And it is going to help to fill them up. If we are not about giving them foods that are actually going to, satiate them, make them feel full, then they are going to want to keep snacking all day long. What are some other ideas that I can give you right now? Trail mix, again, anything like nuts. If your kids love avocados, very funny, Michelle. Avocados are full in fat. Peanut butter, I've got an insanely easy peanut butter fudge bite. I'm going to put the link in the description because they are super filling and really good. You just need a few and it'll fill you up. Bananas and peanut butter. And listen, again, it's not about deprivation. So think about it this way. If your kid is dying for a snack or a treat, think about ways to incorporate that. Like again, with trail mix, I'll put chocolate chips in my kids' trail mix. I know that the majority of what they're getting is healthy fats, a lot of protein in the nuts. It's gonna help to fill them up. I'm okay with them having, a small handful of chocolate chips with that. Or one of our favorites is like sliced apples with peanut butter and chocolate chips, like an apple peanut butter sandwich. Or bananas are great with almond butter or cashew butter. Again, sprinkle some chocolate chips on there, maybe some coconut flakes. Make it fun, but think about making it filling. Again, fiber, protein, healthy fat. If you need ideas, let me know. Again, head over to my plantsnotperfection.com/free resources. The third tip, and this is where adults really come into play. So hear me on this, ladies. Again, a little preparation goes a long way. I can put veggies in it. Wow. Mom, it's a little early for you to be putting veggies in, oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Okay, so you need to be prepared. So what does that mean? Let's I'm just gonna take you into my kitchen, and I don't know what it looks like right now, to be honest with you. We just finished breakfast, but I wanna give you some really simple ideas. When you have healthy food in their sight, they are, I'm gonna say, like 95% more likely to eat that as opposed to the unhealthy stuff. So I'm gonna show you just kind of how my placement is in my kitchen, where I keep things so that they can see it, so that it's easier, and how as adults, we are the same exact way. I know myself well enough because of my sugar addiction. If I keep things in sight, or if I keep it even in the house, it's gonna get eaten. So one thing is not to even bring it in the house, ladies. And yes, you might think that your kids are gonna revolt. We need to be better about giving them more options every day, introducing new things to them every single day. And yes, there might be some pushback at first, but I promise you, as their palate expands, as they try more things, you'll see that you're not gonna get as much of that pushback. So I always, the light just shifted here, I will always have fruit available on the table for them to eat. Keep a fruit basket, a fresh fruit basket on the table. And I know maybe you can't get as much fresh fruit right now, but then you can make smoothie bags. And that's another thing I can share with you. I've got a ton of smoothie recipes. If you need any, just in the search icon under each group, search the word smoothie and you should come up with a ton of them. Things like nuts and chocolate chips, keep this stuff available to them, keep it in their eyesight. When they are hungry, they are going to be more likely to grab that stuff. Now, I will also share with you that I do have a junk drawer, and they often, will ask for it, but I notice that they are maybe asking for it like once every other day. And again, it's not about deprivation. I'm going to give in. I'm going to let them have it. I mean, they're kids. I'm not saying that they can't have the sweet stuff every once in a while. It's just about giving them healthier options. So by just placing it up here on the top shelf, they forget that it's there. You think I'm kidding. Again, I know I told you that this stuff is so simple, but we just don't do it. So don't be a passive listener. Actually try the stuff that I'm telling you. You'll see a difference. So keep the sweet stuff up high. You know, again, when they ask for it, sure, give it to them, but don't give it to them every time. You know, let them know that there are healthier options. So in the fridge, let me see if I can turn it down. Again, it's like, what is available to you right away? Now, ladies, this drawer down here is where vegetables go to die, okay? I know I used to do it all the time. I'd bring veggies home, they'd go in there, and a lot of times I'd end up throwing them away. Take less than 5 minutes, put your celery, put your carrots, whatever fresh veggies in a place where your kids can see it. And again, for those adults that were asking me, like, what do? I'm snacking all day. You need to do this. We are just like our kids in this sense. What we see is what we're that much more likely to eat. You know, I've got lentils here. I've got beans that I've pre-made. Like, this stuff doesn't take long. Make sure you've got like fresh greens, or even pre-make a salad. You're going to be that much more likely to eat it. Hi, Leo. Things like those peanut butter fudge bites, like, we make a bunch of healthy treats and then they can just snack on them as they need them throughout the day. You know, keep a little organizer with your applesauces and your yogurts, that kind of stuff. Keep that available to them so that they can see it when they open the fridge. Again, all of this stuff, guys, is not rocket science. These are just tips that truly work when you use them. So the key is you have to use them. You have to try them. So again, one, schedule. You need to have your kids on a schedule. You need to be on a schedule. You need to know when you have to have a snack ready, when dinner's going to be ready. Sit down at the table as a family. Sit down with them for lunch. Make it a fun experience, and you know, make sure that happens. 2 is make sure that the snacks that they're eating are filling. Think fiber, protein, and healthy fats. Again, I'll give you some ideas. Make sure you check out my free resources for those 7 snacks. I'm going to post a link to my insanely easy peanut butter fudge. And then last but not least, make sure that you are putting the healthy stuff in front of them. Have the fresh fruit basket on the table. Make the smoothie bags. Chop some veggies. Take 5 minutes. Take 10 minutes. Get some snacks ready for them. So that you have it there, they can see it when they open the fridge, and I promise you it's going to make you that much better off when it comes to your snacking as well. So hopefully you found it helpful, ladies. Listen, I am going to be doing some virtual cooking classes. I am going to be helping those of us who are stuck in a rut, cooking the same tired thing over and over again. Our kids you know, may be tired of it too. I know I quickly get tired of it. So I'm going to be helping you with that, as well as how to use spices and herbs to add flavor to almost every dish, as well as healthy snacks and treats, all this stuff. If you're interested, click the link. It's only $9, ladies, and you will get my Spice Bible, which it's just amazing. You'll never run out of flavor ideas again. Hi, Chris. So if you're just tuning in, make sure to watch the replay. Hopefully you take away. I'd love to hear what one thing you think would greatly improve on your kids' snacking and your own healthy snacking. But have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I'm about to go watch some American Idol with my kids because the kitchen's closed for the next 2 hours.